Red Dead Online had the potential to be one of the greatest multiplayer experiences ever created. With its beautiful and immersive world and Rockstar's reputation for quality, it could have been a game where players lived out their own restaurant stories. But instead of expanding upon the single-player magic of Red Dead Redemption 2, Rockstar introduced a monetization model that stripped the game of its heart and soul. This video will explore how the premium currency system and free-to-play mechanics drained the joy from Red Dead Online. When Red Dead Online was first announced, players were excited. The idea of an open-world restaurant sandbox filled with role-playing opportunities, emerging gameplay, and deep customization sounded like a dream. The game had all the foundations of an incredible online experience: detailed environments, rich storytelling potential, and the ability to explore the Old West with friends. But instead of fully realizing this vision, Rockstar made a decision that would severely hinder the experience: the implementation of a predatory monetization system. Red Dead Online introduced a dual currency system, regular in-game dollars and premium gold bars, which could be earned in small amounts through gameplay or purchased with real money. This system was clearly designed to push players toward microtransactions. Basic necessities like weapons, clothing, and even in-game activities were locked behind absurdly high gold bar costs. Grinding for gold bars was an excruciating process. Earning a single gold bar could take hours of tedious gameplay. Missions and bounties offered disappointingly low payouts, making the free-to-play experience feel deliberately slow and frustrating. This wasn't an accident, it was a carefully crafted design choice meant to make players feel that their time was being wasted unless they spent real money. One of the most frustrating aspects of Red Dead Online was how underpaid players were for missions. The rewards were so low that players often spent more on ammo and supplies than they earned. Instead of feeling like an outlaw making a name for themselves, players were stuck in an endless grind just to break even. For example, I'd buy ammo for, let's say, $4 or $5 before a mission, use it all during the mission, and then get paid only $1 or $2 as a reward, barely enough to buy any ammo back that I just used. It constantly felt like the game was ripping you off, turning every mission into a loss rather than a step forward. One of the biggest appeals of Red Dead Redemption 2 was the sense of freedom. Players could live as outlaws, bounty hunters, traders, and even more, forging their own paths in the world. Red Dead Online turned this freedom into a paywall experience. The introduction of roles such as the bounty hunter, collector, and moonshiner could have been an exciting way to expand the gameplay, but instead they were locked behind gold bar purchases. Players weren't given the freedom to carve their own path unless they were willing to pay for it. Perhaps one of the most egregious monetization choices was the ability to pay to increase or decrease your honor level. In a single player experience, morality was an integral part of the story, shaping interactions and various consequences in the world. But in Red Dead Online, it was reduced to a simple monetary transaction. This deeply cheapened the morality system, turning what should have been an immersive role-playing element into just another way to squeeze money out of players. As time went on, Rockstar's support for Red Dead Online dwindled. While Grand Theft Auto Online received major content updates all the time, Red Dead Online was left with minor additions that did little to address the community's frustrations. Instead of expanding on the world with new heists, businesses, or deep story-driven content, Rockstar trickled out uninspired updates that failed to keep players engaged. The lack of investment in Red Dead Online became painfully obvious after a while. Players watched as GTA Online flourished with regular updates and high-profit monetization strategies, while Red Dead Online felt like it had been forgotten about. This led to widespread disappointment and frustration among fans who saw the potential but realized it would never be fulfilled. Despite the lack of developer support, dedicated players found ways to keep Red Dead Online alive through role-playing communities. Groups created their own structured experiences, setting up makeshift bounty hunting businesses, sheriff departments, and outlaw gangs. However, Rockstar's failure to provide official tools or meaningful content updates made it increasingly difficult for these communities to thrive. The lack of private servers and modding support only made matters worse. As player frustration grew, many simply left the game. The lack of content, predatory monetization, and Rockstar's seeming indifference led to an exodus of players who had once been excited about Red Dead Online's potential. The game wasn't officially shut down, but it became a ghost town, with only the most dedicated players sticking around. In the end, Rockstar's approach to monetization didn't just fail, it actively destroyed what could have been an incredible online world. Instead of a thriving, evolving multiplayer experience, Red Dead Online became a cautionary tale of corporate greed outweighing creative ambition, with every aspect of the game designed to push microtransactions. The organic joy of playing Red Dead Online faded. Instead of freely exploring and engaging in dynamic encounters, players were constantly aware of how much grinding they needed to do to afford basic upgrades. Missions felt like long, tedious chores rather than exciting adventures. The slow updates and Rockstar's reluctance to improve the game only made matters worse. In conclusion, Red Dead Online was not a free-to-play game in the traditional sense, but its monetization model effectively turned it into one. By prioritizing premium currency and microtransactions over meaningful content, Rockstar drained the soul from what could have been one of the most immersive multiplayer games ever made. Instead of a living, breathing online world, players were left with a frustrating paywalled experience. The tragedy of Red Dead Online isn't just that it was mishandled, it's that it could have been truly special. But as long as publishers prioritize profit over player experience, incredible games will continue to be gutted by greed. Well, at least we still have the single player experience, however, which is an absolute masterpiece that reminds us of what Red Dead Online could have been. What do you think about Red Dead Online? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.